with your hosts, Killer Keemstar and FaZe Banks.
You can find me in the heart of the city. You can tell me that I could have done more. You can show me why I'm here, what I'm feeling. All I know is all I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Mom's Basement. We are finally back, Banks.
It's been a fucking hot minute.
I've
been traveling the world. I don't know what you've been doing. We haven't even really talked. How was Christmas? How was the New Year? Talk to me.
Oh, dude, my Christmas was wild. I mean, it started off with the Jake Paul Tyson Fury fight. We flew down there. It was amazing. It was awesome to see that knockout in person. The whole match was boring, and then bam, out of nowhere.
Yeah, we haven't even done a Mom's Basement since that happened. That feels like it happened a year ago.
That was December 18th, I think. So I was out of town, and then I went to South Carolina, hanging out with my girls, like family and whatnot, visiting them. My Christmas was amazing. Did that with my child and baby mama. And then Christmas Eve, did it with my extended family. I mean, it was just, it was a great time, like always.
It's dope. Yeah. I haven't.
Did you get back to Boston?
Yeah, I haven't been back to Boston since last Christmas. And this is the first time ever in my life that I've been in that environment sober. So that was interesting because come from a big drinking family, obviously Boston, Boston culture. I mean, anybody from there knows that's what you do. You drink. So all my friends and my family and stuff, it was a way more relaxed version of, the trips over the years that I've had there. Because whenever I've gone back, it's been kind of like a 50-50 split between like kicking it with the fam and then like sending it with my friends that I grew up with and girls and fucking partying and stuff. And this go around, just chill, relaxing. I really only saw like my best friends. I wasn't really like super motivated to like go out and see a bunch of random people and do any of that shit. So I kicked it, watched a lot of football, played some poker with the boys, fucking hung out more with my family, my dad, my stepmom, my brother than I had in recent years. And it's just, it was nice. It was nice. I needed that. It was a good trip.
Do you know what the Island Boys are?
Yeah, of course.
I'm an island boy. Yeah. I'm just trying to make it. Anyhow, these Island Boys, right?
Did you see they're falling out with George on Logan Paul's podcast?
Yeah, that was huge. Well, something similar happened to me today, right? So these Island Boys, first of all, let's go back to the Jake Paul, Tyson Fury, or excuse me, I'm saying Tyson Fury like an idiot. Tyron Woodley fight.
Congratulations to Jake Paul, by the way. Fuck. It's crazy.
That was bro, I tweeted out the moment it happened. I'm like, Jake Paul just became a legend. Like, but there's fights before Jake goes on, right? And so for 3 fights in a row, crazy voice crack, yeah. For 3 fights in a row, the audience wasn't even watching the boxing at all. They weren't watching the people in the ring. They were all staring at the Island Boys, booing them, throwing things at them.
Yeah, I saw some
talking
clips.
trash. Dude, it was insane. I've never seen anything like it, right? It's one thing when, Jake Paul goes to the UFC event and everyone's chanting, fuck Jake Paul, fuck Jake. That's one thing. This was like not that. This was not a meme.
It was
this
fresh
was like,
off of obviously the crossover between Logan Paul's fans, Jake Paul's fans is probably, 1 for 1, bar for bar. And they were pretty disrespectful on that show. Like that was like, they didn't have to do all that.
So I today, I'm like, you know what? I need to get the Island Boys on here because I want to know why they're hated so much, right? So I interviewed them and Bryce Hall crashes the interview, right? Of course, I invited Bryce to come crash the interview because Bryce wants to box both of them at the same time.
That's funny.
They said no, but then they were like flaunting guns and cash and like threatening him.
This is what I was just popped into my head. Like, I don't know who's in their corner. I don't know who's managing them, but it's super important to be realistic and to be real with yourself too, before anything else in this space. If you want to reach a level of success, which arguably they have, but most importantly, maintain that level of success. like, dude, these guys are going about it all wrong. Like they're going the like Tekashi 6ix9ine, like being punks
that's
and like
exactly
beefing
what
with
I was gonna
everybody
say.
which obviously he was one of the biggest stars in the world at that time, right? And he's completely burnt out. That model isn't sustainable. That model can only get you so far. And like, just call it what it is, man. You guys are fucking like, you guys are a meme. You guys are goofy and fucking little like you know, like kind of like SoundCloud. Like we all know the vibe of the Island Boys, man. Like people weren't
At the end of the
people weren't
day,
vibing. Hold on, let me finish. People weren't vibing with your shit because it was good. You know what I mean? People are like laughing at your shit, and that's where you got to make the decision, ego aside, to either laugh with them or just get laughed at. And then what that's going to create, and then to try to like act hard and gangster and shit like that. Like, bro, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Just like the right move for them would have been to like be those like goofy cats and like be cool with everybody and like keep the ball rolling. And you guys have the door wide open to make appearances wherever you want and link up with whoever you want. And you're just fucking like walking off shows and like, and
those boys had an opportunity to make millions and millions of dollars and to be super, super, you know, loved.
Yeah.
But they're doing this. Well,
no, they
gang
completely
stuff.
blew it. They blew it. It's over for them now.
It's done. It's absolutely done. They keep trying to pretend that they're gangbangers. Like, I don't know.
And
maybe
don't get
they
me
are.
wrong, too. This is like that was that energy with George on the show, too. If you guys listening don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know how you wouldn't, but they beefed with George Janko on Logan Paul's podcast and walked off. There's clips of it all over the place on World Star and stuff. But like, I'm coming from the same angle. Like George said it after the blow up. Like, he was a fan of these guys. Like, I thought what they were doing was cool. Like, I fucked with them. I fuck with their vibe. I fuck with their aesthetic. Like, I saw potential, you know, where everybody else saw potential, and I was willing to click on the videos and stuff. I probably still am. But like, I had no fucking issue with these guys. I mean no disrespect in what I'm saying right now. Like, it is what it is. It's just real, and it's important to fucking be real rather than like have this bravado and this energy and this like gangster, like, bro, what the fuck? That's not what you guys came up off of.
They
Like,
are hated. They don't have. I don't think they have real fans anymore. Like, they're just hated by everyone.
No,
it's bad.
They're in the books as a meme, and now they're like on like the villainous side of social media, and people don't fuck with them. It's obvious. That's the vibe. They'd have to work extra hard now to get back to where they were, and I don't know.
Well,
their name's still hot, but it's like they're doing it wrong, man. They're just doing it wrong. We've seen it a million times, Keem. We've been on the internet for how long? Like, we've seen this story play out a million fucking times.
And now I just saw some video of something about him and his like girl. One of them and their girlfriends are like physically abusing each other. Like, it's wild, bro. It's wild. I don't know what's happening.
Well,
with
that's
them.
the thing too. When you behave in a certain way, it opens you up to scrutiny and to criticism, and now people are just rooting for you to lose. You know.
So anyhow, I do an interview, right? It's a FaceTime interview. And of course the Island Boys show up late, right? So everything's backtracked. And by the time I get the interview done with the Island Boys and Bryce Hall, I got to rush and get it on Drumlet, right? So I do the quickest edit I can do, throw it up. And, you know, I'm in between driving from my old house to my new house, right? And, we're the Drumlet studios to where I'm hanging out now. And so this is like a 30-minute drive, and my phone is blowing up. I'm getting text messages from Bryce. You know, Azadi, who used to manage Jake Paul or whatever.
He's the bigger guy with the man bun.
Yeah. So that guy I've been talking to recently on some NFT stuff. You know, he owns some property that I wanted to purchase off of him, and he's blowing
digital
me up,
property.
calling me. Yeah, digital property. So he's blowing me up, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And like, my phone was going nuts, right? And so I finally answer the phone, and I'm driving, right? And I'm like, hey, man, I'm driving. He's like, dude, you leaked my number. I'm like, what? He's like, I got 10,000 phone call. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, in the middle of your video, when you go to answer that call from Bryce Hall on the FaceTime, you showed all the numbers. I'm like, oh, no. So this just happened like 40 minutes ago,
God.
right? So I get on the phone with my team. There's nothing I can do. I'm literally driving a vehicle, right? I can't do shit. So I tell my team, I'm like, dude, you have to go into YouTube editor, blur that stuff out. I look at the text messages from Bryce, and Bryce is like, dude, you're dead to me. No, he didn't say that. You leaked my number, but I'm changing it. It's all good. Bro, it's so bad. I feel so bad.
It's the worst thing.
So, dude, you know this Azadi character, right? He goes, it's all good. Plug, always plug, right? He's every person that's calling him and texting him, he's plugging them his personal NFT project.
I love that. I love that. That's funny.
By the way, I did that guy dirty, or us as the internet did that guy dirty. Because when I was talking to him about getting that NFT sale, he said, Keem, look, man, like a lot of this stuff that's said about me is false, like proven false, because you know, there was these rumors going around that he was waterboarding women and everything. He's like, yeah, I did get accused.
I don't know
of that,
about any of that shit, but I just know like his vibe and like I know what I've heard about him. And this is all completely off the cuff. I don't know anything about this dude whatsoever. So I don't have any personal like judgment on him. But I will say 99% of people who are trying to hop in this NFT game, like they're looking for a quick buck and they don't have any substance to it. Like I'd be surprised. I'd be interested.
No, I'm talking about the other things that was said around him when he was with Jake. He was getting a lot of bad press, and he's like, to be honest, like I went to court for that and found not guilty. Like,
I know, but you telling me he has an NFT project now and shit too is just like doesn't help his case in my opinion. Like this dude isn't a Web3 like tech genius. This dude, like, what's this dude have to offer?
I'll tell you right now, that dude owns a lot of land, digital land in the metaverse.
In what metaverse though? I could create a metaverse today called fucking Shitland. It doesn't mean it's worth anything.
In Sandbox, like, and in,
okay, if he owns some Sandbox is a real deal thing.
And not one by ones. He owns many 3x3s banks, like a lot of 3x3s.
Cool. That's a good investment. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the dude's obviously a smart guy. I'm just that was just something that popped up. But so where does this go with the Island Boys thing? Are you beefing with them? Do they reach out to you? Like I don't.
So the thing with the Island Boys is like, man, I wish they would just take some advice and drop all the gang stuff. And I wish they would get in the ring with Jake Paul, I
think the last thing they should do is get in a fucking boxing ring. Those like no, that's bad advice.
You want to see it?
I mean, I would love to see it, but for their own personal like you know what I mean? They
do you think
that would ruin them?
Okay, Banks. Okay, you
would
adopt
lose, and that would ruin them.
All right, Banks, so you adopt the Island Boys, right? They're on your roster, right?
Yeah.
And you're their manager, right? And
yep.
you got to turn this around for them. What do you do?
I already said it. I mean, right now I wouldn't like this is like a weird scenario because I just wouldn't put any time into them as it stands right now. But
right.
If you asked me a couple months ago, like what they did with Cole Bennett, they just hopped in a cameo for who was the fucking guy? Oliver Tree. And Oliver Tree and Ski Mask the Slump God did a video together, did a song together, and the Island Boys were in that video. Like moves like that are great moves. I would have obviously pushed them to go on the Logan Paul podcast and prep them by saying, be nice to these guys, have a casual conversation. If there's criticism or questions, don't take it personally. That's how the fucking internet works. People are curious as to what your guys' next move is. And I'd be the first one telling them everything George and these guys were saying to you is true. You guys aren't proven. You guys don't have a product that people need or really really want. Like your name is clickable. Be likable. You know what I'm saying? If you guys start beef with people, like people aren't going to fucking respond well to that. It's like, okay, we got one of these guys. Like you're one of those. Like, okay, gun toting, I'm a gangster. Like, okay, bro. Everybody with face tattoos on the internet and fucking who's from the hood is a fucking gangster. I'm from the fucking hood. I'm tattooed head to toe. Like, I'm not a gangster. You know what I mean? Like, It's just like to have that like bravado and ego is like the most damning worst thing you could do. And that's all they've done. So like fighting with whole crowds of people getting booed and shit. That's real genuine feedback. You shouldn't look at that like, okay, fuck the world. Like we're the best and you can't touch this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, Like, that's not where you guys are at.
If you're gonna go online and you're gonna act like a tough guy, like, oh, I'll beat everyone else up, right? Like, here, prime example, Jake Paul. Before Jake Paul got the credibility, when he was talking about, I'll box this person, I'll box that person, guess what? Everybody, their brother, their sister, everybody comes out of the woodwork and wants to check you, wants to box you,
exactly.
wants to fight you. And it's the same thing in this, gang stuff, right? Like, if you come out and you're saying that's who you are, you're going to have some real hard people come try to check you.
It's just the dumbest thing you can do. Like you guys started out as a meme. Just move forward on that and just do things in a quality, comfortable, like happy, friendly way.
Hey, you know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm bringing Friday Fortnite back, season 3, baby.
I have zero interest in Fortnite. I haven't watched Fortnite, played Fortnite. I feel like Fortnite's kind of...
Oh, you don't know about it? You don't know about it? You remember when I brought Minecraft Monday? That was the wave, man. I brought that whole game back. I'm going to bring the whole game with Fortnite back, with Friday Fortnite.
Did you get like
100%.
approval? Because I know there was like some like weird thing that they kind of tried to block you out of doing that.
My team basically said we can do it. We're looking at a couple, actually two different NFT projects that want to partner with us.
What does that mean? Partner with you?
Oh, I mean, it's brilliant. They basically sponsor the event. We promote their project, that type of stuff.
I can't get behind that. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because I haven't accepted $1 to promote any of these projects, because these essentially are just like visual representations of like actual like just like the stock market, the traditional stock market. Like, I don't know. It's just it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird like gray area, weird thing for me. And people are like taking advantage of the tech, and like it's all wrong to me. Like, anybody, I genuinely believe anybody who's paying for promotion in a project, like paying people to tweet out their project or be a part of their project, like paying them dollars, has no real substance to their project, and it's a fucking dud.
You're looking at it the so wrong way.
It's going to zero. I don't think I'm looking at it the wrong way at all. I think.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Because
I've been obsessed. I've been obsessed with.
Well, I'll make my point when you're done talking.
I've been obsessed with and deep in this space for a full year. I know what I'm talking about. Like, I think that I'm looking at it the correct way. But yeah,
well, there's a completely different perspective, right? So, obviously, NFTs are art, right? It's creation to be cherished and to be loved, right?
Not all of it's art.
Okay, but a lot of it is, right? So is Friday Fortnite. Friday Fortnite is art, right? Friday Fortnite is a creation by creators, by gaming entertainers, right? Art respects art. If, two entities that are in the creating process want to do a collaboration like that and support each other and support the arts and support the gaming community, I see nothing wrong with that.
I guess it's all in the way that you do it and unroll it out, I guess. I don't know. That word NFT is hot and it's dangerous. And that's why it's just people hear that word and know that people are making a fucking ton of money on doing it, but people don't know how people are making a ton of money on doing it. Me specifically,
people are always
maybe
also
I just
losing money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's not what people hear or talk about. And when guys like me and you tell people, hey, this is a good NFT project, when it actually isn't, the risk in people going to buy that project expecting to make a profit and the project going to zero and having no real substance to it, that scares me, because the barrier to entry in these projects aren't cheap. The absolute cheapest thing you could do is minting a brand new project for a few $100, and to the average person, a few $100 still isn't cheap. But the average price for like an NFT in the top 100 for OpenSea is like 0.5 ETH, which is fucking thousands of dollars. It's just, it's definitely, I don't know. I have a strict rule. Like, I'm not promoting a project. And if I find out that a project's paying someone to promote them, I'm not buying that. That's a huge red flag. It's like, that's your guys' game plan. That's what you guys are selling. Just, you guys are marketing it. Look at Mechaverse, for example. I don't think you were buying NFTs at the time, but they marketed the fuck out of that, and the artwork was cool, more or less. It was all right. It was definitely above average. But these things pre-mint were going for like 5 to 10 ETH, which is fucking, we're talking about like $50,000. And they got all the way up to like 15 ETH, 70, upwards to like $100,000 per. They launched, they unveiled, and they completely tanked, and everybody got more or less rugged on it. Anybody who bought, after a certain point got stuck with the bill. And it's like NFT tech, it isn't just art. That's the problem. That's the problem with the way people view this thing. NFT tech is gonna take complete hold of the video game space and just what you can build on top of that stuff, like play to earn, social interaction. I'm talking to a company right now. I can't say who they're working with, but they're working with one client, and they are debatably the biggest person on the internet. And essentially what their tech does is allows your followers to yield tokens based off them engaging with your social posts. So
Right.
Let's say I follow Keemstar. I'm a huge Keemstar fan. I watch every Drama Alert. I'm subscribed to Drama Alert. I'm following you on Twitter. I like all your tweets. I'll yield token based on all those different interactions. So I'll yield tokens based on how long I've been subscribed and clicking the subscribe button in the first place. And every time I like your
tokens for
tweet,
watching Mom's Basement.
Yeah.
I've actually heard this pitch, and that was like one of the presentations for Web 3.0, right?
It's genius, and that's the biggest fucking thing about Web 3 is I saw a really, really good like representation of Web 3. It was a picture. I'm trying to find it real quick, but basically it was Web 1, and it was Web 1, it was email address and password. Web 2 is connect Twitter, connect Instagram, connect Facebook, connect whatever, right? And then Web 3 is connect wallet. And it's just like the most beautiful, simplest representation of like, what does Web 3 even mean? That's what it means. You know what I mean? It's like that, having all your games connected under one thing, and like, having your Fortnite skins that you've invested time and money into, and having and all the time and effort you've invested into that game. Imagine earning based on that. Imagine getting I just got airdropped something for my OpenSea sale transactions today, and it was a free fucking $40,000 I just woke up to today because some startup OpenSea competitor, and OpenSea is the marketplace for anybody that doesn't know, for NFTs, essentially like the eBay, the Amazon for.
Yeah, I got money on that too.
For NFTs. Yeah, it's like this new platform, and the
They
token
airdropped anybody that sold stuff back and forth on OpenSea, right? Because I got a bag of that too. I sold it right away.
The claim is depending on how much money you've spent. But it's just like, dude, if you really spend the time and effort looking into this shit, it's like there are some things that you just stay away from, and there are other things that are real. And honestly, it is true. In crypto and NFTs, 90%, and this is a generous split, to be honest with you, 90% of this is bullshit. And people are selling fucking snake oil and over-promising things. If you're lucky and you're in the right circles and following the right people, 10% of the information you get is good information and can change your fucking life, and beyond financially too. Like, this is it. If you didn't hop on the social media shit in Web 2, you know what I mean? Huge. That's a huge.
What's up, everybody? I'm Graham Bunn. So excited to introduce you to Country Shine, where we're talking all things country music.
That's right, and I'm Cameron Irwin, co-host and resident country girl at Tinseltown, here to welcome you to the family. Every Tuesday, we'll update you on the latest in country music, culture, and community.
And on Fridays, I'll bring on country musicians and all the biggest names in the game.
It's a gathering, and we want you here.
You can listen to Country Shine with me, Graham Bunn, for free right here on Spotify.
All right.
Yeah, wanna be there. All I know is all I know.
Well, I guess what I'm asking, right, is like, okay, so Web 3.0 is you're gonna get credits for when you play games. You're gonna get credits for when you watch YouTube videos. You're gonna get currency, and it's very similar to the real world, in which, you know, the more you play games, the more you get knowledge, the more you practice games, the more knowledge you get, the more you watch YouTube videos, the more knowledge you take in. How close are we to proving that that in real life, this world that we live in itself is like Web 0.50 or something, or Web 5.0?
Oh, you talking about like sim theory? Like what are the odds that all this is
how close are we? How close are we? I mean, it's the same thing.
I don't know that you can ever prove it. I think the best proof is just like logic, just thinking about things from that lens, because again, like the base of fucking sim theory, first of all, the entire universe is based on math. Everything is code, right? Everything from gravity to fucking everything, right?
Yeah.
The speed of light, fucking, you know, the way chemistry works, it's all fits together like a puzzle, and it's like it's weirdly perfect, right? And everything can be explained with an equation, which is insane, which at the end of the day, that's what code is. It's just math, right?
Right.
So
right,
that's the fabric to which the universe we actually live in right now is built. That's a fact, right? And then again, look at the technological advances over the last fucking 5 years, 10 years, fucking 100 years ago. People were eating dinner at candlelight, right? So it's like and we're not the only planet that exists in the universe. There's an infinite number of planets. The universe is so big that there's probably an infinite number of planets that can sustain life. And we're kind of right in the middle somewhere. So you have to automatically, if you don't believe that there's intelligent life out there that's way beyond us, then I think you're fucking tripping. So all that together, all that combined, we're on the brink of making these fucking crazy advances in technology. Imagine what the fuck aliens are doing, right? So you have to, there's really only one of two options that we exist in. One, we're in the original first ever universe, right? We're in the first and only one, the true universe. Big Bang, expand, retract universe. Or the original universe, Big Bang, evolution, planets form, suns, all that shit, the same way it is in this one. But somewhere, someone, at some point in the fucking universe, at some point in time, figured out a way to recreate the universe infinitely for whatever reason, to solve global warming or whatever, to answer questions, to get more information about how our universe works. Clicked a button, and once you click it, you can't unclick it, right? Recreate a simulation of the universe 100 million times over, infinitely times over, you know what I mean? Let's just say 100 million universes exist. We're either that true universe or someone figured out how to recreate it, and we're one of, billions of simulated universes.
I just watched this documentary recently.
What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that that's where we're at?
Do I think that this world is a simulation?
Yes.
I think it's possible. It's very possible. It's so much weird stuff happens.
I'm a believer. That's my full, that's what I fully believe.
There's a documentary that I just seen recently. It's called a Glitch in the Matrix, right? And it's all about simulation theory, right? And it's just a bunch of different people talking about their opinions. And weirdly enough, do you know that there was an author in 1977 that did a press release, and they thought that he was going there to talk about his book, and he was presenting simulation theory?
I love that.
That 1977, he was saying this world is a computer. 1977, you gotta look that up. I wish I knew the name of that author, but if you look up simulation theory on YouTube 1977, you'll see the author that I'm talking about. I don't know the name of it. I can't think of it. Anyhow, in the documentary, they covered a lot of different, topics around this. And one of it was a really, really dark story. So this is in the 90s. This guy is watching The Matrix over and over again, right? And he really believes that we are living in a simulation. He's convinced of it. He's watching it over and over again. He grabs a shotgun and blasts his mom, blasts his dad, and then calls the cops. Like it's
okay,
the
that's
story's
bananas.
The story is way more detailed, right? If you watch the documentary, you'll hear the story in detail. Trust me, for those of you that get skittish around this stuff, don't watch it. For those of you that are into this type of stuff, watch it because there's way more details. Anyhow, long story short, he's doing an interview from jail telling this story, and
this is all
wild.
packed into that documentary, A Glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm watching that. You got me fully intrigued.
It's good. It's a good documentary. The author from 1977 talking about that's in there. It's all in there. You got to check it out.
Everything that you're talking about is from this documentary.
Yeah, basically the other night I was looking up hot documentaries, like things that people are talking about, because I love documentaries more than movies. And that was in the top 10 of 2021 documentaries. So I watched it, and trust me, it was good. But it's horrible. I had to sign up to Hulu to watch it because you can't get it anywhere else. I had to sign up to Hulu every single month. By the way, has anyone taken the time to see how much money? This is not an advertisement at all, but it sounds like it the way I'm saying it. Has anyone taken the time to see how much money you're spending a month on these subscriptions? Dude, I downloaded some app, and I'm not going to tell you the app because I'm not getting paid to tell you the app, but I downloaded some app that would go and see how many subscriptions I'm paying for. Bro, it was unreal. I've been paying for gym memberships for like 5 years, had no idea. I've been paying for all different types
nuts.
of... Bro,
I should probably download this app.
Dude, there's multiple apps that do this. Look into it, but I'm telling you, you have no idea, because when you look at your bank statement, people, right? It's just like $20 here, $40. You have no idea what any of this stuff is, right?
Yeah.
You get one of these apps, you connect your bank account, bro. They were like, "Oh, did you know that you had an Audible subscription? What? What? Did you know that you had a New York Times? I do. I don't even read the New York Times. What the?
You have a New York Times subscription?
Yeah, I have a digital one, and I did.
Funny.
I do remember faintly signing up for it because a lot of times the New York Times, they'll put out an article, right, and you'll start to read it, and then like a paywall will come up, and I got frustrated one day because it was, it was in reference to a YouTuber or something, probably Logan Paul, and I needed to know what it said for drama alert, so I paid whatever, and then forgot about it. I haven't read the New York Times since.
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah,
that's
dude,
how they
it's
get you.
like, it's amazing because I think when it was all said and done, dude, I was shelling out like something like, just shy of like $2,000 a month on just random stuff that I forgot about,
Yeah. Yeah, no, sim theory. I mean, I definitely don't recommend you go blasting your fucking parents away with a shotgun, but I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would do that anyways. It just doesn't seem.
Well, wow, to go full circle. I mean, that's what I was trying to warn Attica of, like it's so scary to really truly in your heart believe that this world is fake, because then the rules don't apply.
What even is real? Like, what even is fake? Like, what does it matter? We have senses, and we feel things. We feel pain. We feel joy, and dopamine is fucking a cool thing. Like, what does it even matter? Like, what does it matter if we're just programmed to feel that way versus if we really authentically feel that way? I don't understand that. I don't understand why people get so caught up in it. And again, I'm a full believer of that shit. I fully think we live in a fucking computer, to be honest with you. But it's not going to affect me being nice to people or like me being honest with my girlfriend or friends or trying to be the best version of myself or, or fucking killing myself or somebody else.
Well,
I don't understand how people jump from that to that. That's fucking nuts.
The scariest thing about when I think about it and when I truly believe it, the scariest thing that happens to me is there's a lot of people in my life that I lose a human connection with because I look at them as an NPC. Like, I don't look at them as like a main character. They look like robots to me.
I think that everyone's a real person. I'm not saying we're actually a computer, or I don't think anyone's an NPC.
Bro, come on.
I think that everyone.
Dude, if this is a simulation, Banks, you don't think there's some humans out there that are drones?
No.
Every single human is.
I think that's wacky. I think that we're all built on. I think that there's rules that the universe follows, just like code, and there's rules that programs and computers follow. And I think that every fucking human being on the planet experiences this world the same way that I do. And that's kind of what I base on how I treat people on.
My old friend Only Use Me Blade, his career is kind of done and over with. He gets drunk and he says a lot of horrible things, absolutely horrible things. And last night I was watching a documentary on Only Use Me Blade, and it was a good documentary. It was just, showing some of the bad stuff he's done, and the whole message of it was really trying to give him advice. But in the middle of it, there's a clip where he's screaming obscenities, bad words. And he texts me at the same moment, bad words. The chances of that, the reason why I brought this up is because there's moments like that where it's like, okay, dude, this is a simulation. What are the coincidences of this? Like,
Yeah. I know
there's no freaking way. 1 minute. I got to get your live reactions to this, because when you see this screenshot, watch.
Honestly, I feel really, really bad for him. It sucks, man. It sucks. Like, I was just having this conversation with somebody else in the in kind of the Web3 space of like, because 2022 is going to be a big year for me. I mean, just dicking around, fucking around. I've made a fucking ton of money. I'm super passionate about this shit. I love this shit. And I feel like content and the quality of information is really missing and lacking in the space, and people don't know where to go. I mean, there's motherfuckers who don't even know how to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin, and it's just the demand for that is so high. But I actually used Only Use Me Blade as an example recently. It's weird that you brought him up, because I used him, and like XJaws is doing great in his own life, but in terms of like starting out like Zergriz, remember those guys? We'll use those guys as the example. Those guys started out as the kings of the Call of Duty YouTuber space, and they didn't evolve with the times. Their content didn't evolve with the times, and they couldn't keep the boat afloat, and they kind of fell off before things really could crack off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now you see all these people like FaZe Rug. That's the world he comes from, and he's done nothing but evolve, and he's a fucking multi-millionaire. His net worth's probably, in the fucking nine figures. It's like, and
you would think
he comes from the same space, and it's probably a tough pill to swallow, to be like, fuck, man, like I had this, like I inspired these people to do what they're doing, and I don't have any piece of the pie. And that's
the exact point that I want to make. You would think from the outside looking in that scenario that the people that paved the way were the people that reaped all the benefits, but that is not true. That is not what happened online. The people that paved the way, they built the platform, and then other people came in, competition came in, and wiped them all out. Wiped them completely out.
Specifically XJaws and Muzza Fuzza are the reasons why I started capturing videos and making videos on Call of Duty.
That's wild.
And neither of them make any content anymore or do any of that. But without those guys, I can't honestly sit.
I haven't heard that name in forever. Muzza Fuzza. That guy was a legend.
Shout out Robbie. I actually follow him on Instagram, and we interact in the DMs sometimes. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy how life works. But again, it's like, I don't know. It's really, I don't know. It comes full circle, because you just talked about the Island Boys and stuff, and it's really fucking important. It's the most important thing. I'm a firm believer just how big TikTok's gotten and how like everybody truly has an identity on social media these days. I truly believe everybody in their lifetime will get at least one real shot, like one viral moment, or say one thing that gets picked up in like mainstream social media press. You get what I'm saying, Keem? Do you believe that too?
No, 100%.
Yeah, so whether it's a girl doing a 13-year-old girl doing a TikTok in her living room, or, a 40-year-old guy who has a whole business or whatever, never really fucked with social media, but is like, oh shit, I'm getting a ton of views on this thing, or people want to hear me talk more about this. Like the craziest, nastiest, grossest like sense of ego and pride comes along with views and clout and followers, and it's one of the nastiest, shittiest parts of social media, but it's a fact. Everyone's gone through it. Everyone's felt like they're above everybody else at some point who's reached success on this, because it's natural. It's because you've had so many actual real humans following you and telling you you're awesome, and just reinforcing this idea in your head that you're better than everybody else. when in reality, it's just not true. It's never been true. It's not true for anybody. And it's the most crucial thing for everybody listening right now. If you find yourself in a position where, you know, you've reached some level of success in the space, you have to take care of it. You have to approach it in the most honest way possible, which is this can go away at any time. You're not special. You are not special. You're a blimp in this whole like social media universe. And if you want to take it seriously and you want to reach the promised land and you want to make a significant amount of money doing it, you want this to be your life, you have to know that every move that you make is important, evolving with the times and improving is important, and put that ego shit aside, because it's the thing that, and I'm not saying these original COD guys have egos and stuff. Obviously the Island Boys do, but I mean, they were getting a ton of views doing things a certain way, right? And then they weren't, and clearly they either didn't want to pivot or they couldn't pivot. And
the problem for a lot of those guys, Banks, that I think we need to point out is a lot of the people that paved the way in the space, they did it for fun. They weren't doing it for money. We didn't. I'm telling you, when I started YouTube, we could not partner our channel. Like, gaming content could not get partnered by YouTube. The people, it was considered copyright. So people were doing that because they loved it. And then the second generation of YouTuber came in and they were doing it to make money. And that's why the original guys all got wiped out, because they were going against business guys. They were going against hungry, thirsty people.
Well, it's impossible to say why they didn't continue, but guys like Muzza Fuzza, Only Use Me Blade, and fucking X-Jaws, they were definitely making money. Like a significant enough amount of money. Thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they were doing okay.
You know what I mean? Like enough to pay rent. Yeah, nothing even close to now, obviously. But that's what I'm saying. It's impossible for them not to dwell on that or look back or like feel some type of way about that, because they were at the tip top when, you know, people, like you said, the majority of people were just doing it for fun.
Yeah. I can't retire. I can't find a replacement. I'm not retiring on March 8th like I planned. I call that? I called that. But I swear on everything that I really meant it, and no one believes me, and no one's going to believe me. I really meant it. I can't get my ducks in a row for Drumler to walk away. I just can't. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm working like I've never worked before. I'm grinding. I just need to find somebody that has a hunger like I do. And here's one thing to further the conversation we were having. If you have a shitty life, viewers, if there's anyone out there that has a shitty life, maybe you're poor, or maybe you got a shitty home life, whatever the case may be, is if you get one of these golden opportunities that Banks was talking about, you know, everyone in their life has some type of opportunity, bro, you have such an advantage over everyone else because you see the value in that and you take advantage, and you never take it for granted. And that's a lot of the mistakes that people have, is they you know, grew up in a wealthy home or grew up in a loving family, and, you know, an opportunity comes their way and they ignore it. I better do what someone else told me to do.
Well, that's why
it's
the most important thing. We've preached this more than just once on the show, but keeping one foot on the ground and really looking at these opportunities as a gift and a blessing. Because I know me and you have, you know, the whole way through, even still today, like I think often about where I came from and like the first steps that I had to take to get here. And it's like, it's all been a gift. It's all been a blessing, rather than looking at things from like I'm so much better than everyone. And I fucking, you know, this was owed to me from the jump. This was owed to me at birth. I'm the coolest person in the world. Like those people often fall flat.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. What are your plans for 2022? Because this is our first show of 2022. And, you know, when New Year's comes around, you're like, okay, this year I'm going to do something different, right?
I have big plans, actually. Very big plans.
What are you doing?
So today is my 66th day sober. I'm pretty proud about that. It's the longest I've gone since I was probably like 12 years old. I'm dedicating myself to going sober all of 2022. I've made that decision. And hopefully I can keep up with that. I'm working every day, taking it day by day, and that's going to be a huge part of the overall plan. I turned 30, which is a significant number to me, just because my dad's had health issues, and these years, 30, your 30s and 40s kind of make or break like your late years. And I want to live for a long time, and I want to have a good quality of life, and I want to fucking be able to have conversations with people when I'm older. And I'm just looking a lot into like the health aspect of my life, because I've never really paid attention or given a fuck about that. I've kind of always been stuck in that 16 to 20 mindset of like, I can eat whatever the fuck I want when I got time. Now I don't. So I got to make that decision. And
oh my God, what is wrong with you, bro? You're 30. I'm 40, and I don't think like that.
Well, I want to get ahead of the game, man. I just want to. I'm picking now to do this, and for other reasons too. Last year, you know me, I'm like not the money guy at all. You know that. You definitely know that about me. I'm the last person to jump on something for a bag. I've kind of, all my financial success in life has kind of come with just what I want to do and what I believed in. And I've been very fortunate for that. But I've never focused on money. I've never focused on making money. I've never made financial goals. I've never really given a fuck about any of that up until last year. And last year, I don't know if I ever had this conversation with you or if I had it on the podcast, but I did tell Tav, I said, Tav, I'm going to make $15 million this year. I said it exactly like that number. I said, that's what I'm doing this year. I'm going to make $15 million. I've never cared about making money, but I'm getting to that age. I want a fucking family.
What are you going to do? Rob a bank?
I made $15 million this year.
Oh,
I hit
okay.
I hit that goal.
Well, you didn't, because it's not liquid.
I made $15 million this year.
Liquid? Like
Yeah.
cash in the bank?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well,
All
it's not cash in the bank. I mean, anybody that has $15 million liquid cash in the bank is a fucking moron. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But yeah, I came up $15 million this year.
Nice.
A huge part of that was NFTs and crypto and stuff.
Wait. What projects are you in right now? Like is there
Can I finish
anything
the
new?
2022 stuff? Because I'm actually excited to talk about this.
Okay.
But and moving into this year, I and this is all phase stuff aside, like phase shares, all that stuff aside. I want to make $100 million this year. I really do, and I think that the opportunity's right in front of me. Like I said, I've hinted at, like, I think the quality of content in this space should improve. Just on my Instagram story, I mean, I really don't take L's. Like I've given people such good information for free, and it'll continue to be for free, and it'll continue to be for the love of this. I just want to learn more, grow more, and keep delivering people great information, because, bro, I have fucking kids coming up, not kids, adults. I have adults coming up to me in nightclubs. The Weeknd invited me to his album release party this past weekend, and I went, and one of his personal friends was like, yeah, I really want to talk to you at some point. I'm like, okay, cool. And I've gotten that a lot, and the first thing that fires off is the NFT shit. And I'm like, this guy's gonna ask me a bunch of questions, like whatever. But no, this guy came up to me later in the night, and he's like, hey man, I really just need to tell you this. He's like, you started posting about crypto punks in February, and I bought 3 of them, and I just bought me and my wife and my kid our first home off of that, fully off of that.
Oh my God.
And like gave me a hug and took a picture with me, and like was like super emotional, and I was like, holy fucking shit. He's like, I really just needed to thank you because you significantly changed my fucking life. And that's insane, bro. Like that feeling is so rewarding and so reassuring for me, and helps me in ways that you don't even understand. Like with this sobriety shit, with this health shit, like it's not just for me. I've always been somebody who has to operate in a team. I can't do things on my own because I don't know if I give a fuck about myself enough. But when other people are on the line, when other people rely on me, it's a whole different game. Like that shit fires me up, you know? So this
you've
year,
always looked out for everyone around you, and that is one thing that no one can ever take away from you. And I appreciate this one quality that about you that is just, it's amazing.
I appreciate it. It's always New Year's. You get these kinds of messages, like all the Nelk boys separately like messaged me, like Jesse fucking hit me up. He's like, I got a present for you somewhere. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he's like, He's like, I just wanted to thank you for everything. And just you get all these messages from all different eras of time of people who like really are thinking about you. Like people do a lot of reflecting around the new year, you know, like where am I at? Where do I want to go? And it's awesome, man. Like it's actually awesome. But I just want to be better. I want to be fucking, I want to like, I found a new lane and I fucking love it so much. And I really wholeheartedly believe in this. I can't fucking wait. Like I had this in video games. I get to forever look back and say 10 years ago, you guys called me fucking crazy. You told me I was stupid. You told me, you know what I mean? I was making a mistake. Look at me now. Look at where this whole industry is. I was right. You know what I'm saying? I love that shit. Not in like a cocky, egotistical way. It's just fucking, it's awesome. It's super.
I love it in a cocky, egotistical way.
I know that's
because,
how you like it.
Bro, you don't understand, man. You don't understand. I've been in the game 14 years. You don't understand, man. Back in the day, nobody believed. Your family didn't believe you. Your friends, your girlfriend, nobody believed in what you were doing, bro.
And I'm super grateful for that, like that experience through my eyes, because it really is like a fucking movie, you know? Like it's like, I don't know, it's awesome. But it's the weirdest feeling. I see so many parallels between this space and like the gaming space and like what, like just the vibe. And I feel like I'm here all over again. Just only this time I'm just
Banks, let's get to the juice. What are you into right now? I seen you post on your Instagram these crypto bat things from Ozzy Osbourne. What is that?
So I can't speak to that project. I have no idea. I haven't done a deep dive. I don't know anything about what they're building apart from the art and apart from Ozzy Osbourne. I do know that Shane Gonzalez, big fashion designer guy, huge Ozzy Osbourne fan, is blowing me up to get him on the whitelist. And people who are fans of Ozzy naturally are really excited about it.
Get me on the whitelist, bro.
They made me a 1-of-1 bat. It's really fucking cool, and I appreciate it. Shout out Ozzy Osbourne. But I can't fully endorse the project. I can't tell you anything about the project. I can't say that it's a good idea to buy it. I can't say that I would buy it at the current moment in time because I don't know anything about it. So that's my answer to that. I kind of just posted the flex of Ozzy tweeting at me, like he tweeted me and Gary V. We got a special bat for you guys, which was really cool. But recently, fucking the Hearts project that I was in at Mint and the, what was the other one? Cryptoon Goons that I helped mint through. This project was out for a week and it wasn't even minted all the way through. I kind of just stumbled upon it, minted it. Those both joined the 1 ETH floor club, which means, you know, the cheapest one to get in is like $4,000. And the Hearts really went way past that. They just announced the collab with Edison Chen. He's the founder of Clot, which is like the Supreme brand in China.
That sounds sick.
It's like the US's Supreme in China is Clot. FaZe has actually done a collab with them. But
yo, I gotta tell the viewers what I did. Okay, so you know, I'm recently new to the NFT game. You know, when we had Andy Milonakis on like 2 months ago or whenever that was, that's kind of when I started, right? And so I'm sitting there with some ETH. I'm like, what should I buy? What project should I get into? So I went over to Banks's OpenSea. I found your OpenSea, like one of them, right?
Yeah.
And I seen that you had these Wolfgang farmers or Wolfgang
Yep.
farmers, right? So I just bought a bunch of them. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. I just bought a bunch of them. Bro, I 10x'd my money on them.
Dude, Wolfgang, I honestly can't say that I can't say that I think that I put anybody onto more money than with Wolfgang, because that's one of the main ones people are like coming up to me on the street like, yo, you changed my life. Thank you. Wolfgang, fucking, that one has been an ultra one. I actually got my assistant in here right now. Ryan, come over here. Tell me what you told me in the car the other day about Wolfgang. Ryan's my assistant, by the way, my PA. He's been working for me. How long have you been working for me, Ryan?
Like 2 months.
2 months. 2 months, yeah. Been working for me for 2 months. Gets paid probably what the average median salary for a PA is in Hollywood, which probably is a not well-paying job, but like we're talking NFTs and the money in this, whatever. Ryan, tell him what you told me in the car the other day.
So Banks puts me onto Wolf Game. Yeah, Banks puts me onto Wolf Game in the middle of the fucking night. within that week, I doubled my salary from the whole year and used that money and bought a brand new 2022 Tesla.
How sick is that?
That's so
How
stupid.
sick is that?
You
Just
could have
Ryan running
could've
around
bought
for me,
10
whatever.
Teslas.
We're all in a room crowded up. Ryan's like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy into this shit too. And just based on that, he fucking bought a new Tesla and made more money than he'll make
Oh,
of his
that's
salary in
wild.
the next 2 years. But that's like that individual case study is exactly why I need to just ramp the fuck up what I'm doing and surround myself with smart individuals and quality information. And like, I just want to keep I want to keep this shit going. Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy.
How cool is
That's
that?
insane.
Like, it's cool. Like, Steve will do it. For example, we'll go and buy his assistant like a Tesla or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Steve's making fucking dumb amounts of money on YouTube and putting that in the titles and stuff. It's cool. Like, that's cool. But to like, what's that
For him to
cliche
just
shit?
copy your business move, you know.
But
and
no,
do the same thing.
he's engaging in the conversation. Ryan's actually the one who told me about the Looks
if you give a
airdrop today.
person a fish, if you give
Yes,
a person a
that's
fish
the
or
one.
you teach them to fish,
You give a person a fish, you feed him for the day. You teach him to fish, you feed him for life. Like, that's fucking sick.
I got to tell you about this project I'm in. It's called Psychedelics Anonymous, right? I get a bunch of these things. I love them, right? Dude, the floor went up to 2 ETH. It's insane.
What did
and
you
there's
buy
like,
it at?
I think 1 ETH or 1.5. So basically they mint it and I missed the mint. And so I just saw kind of what they were going to look like. They're like these high detailed like avatars things with no face, and a bunch of them have different masks and stuff. And I started looking into.
Hold on, I'm about to look into this because I think D's, who's somebody,
Psychedelic Anonymous, yeah.
he's somebody I get a lot of my alpha from, and if this is the same project, I will give you huge props. How do you spell psychedelic?
I got in and I got a really good one, and I got 4 of them actually. And so look, dude, I get into these things and I know nothing. I'm busy. I'm doing a million things, right? Then I find out that there's 3 other components. And if you get 3 of these different components, like one's like a VIP pass and NFT, and one's an in real life pass NFT, and one's a component NFT. If you get those plus your avatar, that's considered a set. And there's a couple more components that are coming out. And with all the components and all the passes, you're going to there's a lot of like mystery because they haven't revealed exactly what you're going to do, but you're going to somehow be able to, the best analogy I have is like the mutant apes. You're going to be somehow be able to make some serum to then go and mint.
Yeah, a lot of these projects follow that model. I'll definitely take a look into it.
This one's crazy because what these guys have done, which is so genius, the guys that run the whole Psychedelics Anonymous, they like talk in poems and stuff, and they talk in riddles, right? And it just engages the community so much to try to figure out what's going on with it. And bro, I'm hooked on it, dude. I got 4 full sets.
That's how the guy with Wolf Game, I forget what they call him. What's the Wolf Game guy's name? The shepherd. Yeah, the shepherd talks like that too. Like, it's
another thing that these guys are doing is mental health, like free mental health therapy or whatever to like all its holders. Like it's really big on mental health too. So there's that angle of it. I like it. I think it's cool.
Well, 2 ETH floor indicates a kind of a real deal project, or either like a well marketed fucking rug pull. I don't know. Look into it. That's what I always say. Just look into it. Fucking read up on it. Check into the founders. That's all you can do. But that sounds cool.
Yeah.
I wish you would have told me before the podcast, because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't see that one. But that's cool that you're winning on it, which is awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm up on it.
But that's what I mean. The space is so new. It's all over the fucking place. It's exciting, man. It's fucking really exciting. I think we should wrap it up there, to be honest.
Oh, Gary V bought one of Andy's goat soups,
Yeah,
and it just went nuts. It went freaking nuts. Anyhow, yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Yeah, guys, give us feedback. We'd love to hear your feedback on Twitter on what we're talking about and the things that we're talking about. So let us know. We always ask you guys to use a certain emoji because we get spammed with all kinds of tweets all day long. So we'd like to see the Mom's Basement fans when you guys are tweeting at us your thoughts and opinions on these episodes. So for this week, use the emoji of
Computer. We live in a computer.
the computer.
Yeah, spam us on Twitter, guys. There's no comment section on Spotify, so we ask you guys tweet myself and Keem, and if we have a guest on, which obviously we don't this week, tweet us, spam the emoji with comments, ideas, questions, all that shit. Twitter.
Love you guys. We'll see you next week. And I promise we'll stop being lazy. We will be here every week.
Happy 2022, everybody. Peace.
Bye.